And vigil at the U.S. Capitol for the conservative activist murdered last week.
What we do know about Charlie is that he would not want us to be overcome by despair. He would want us to carry the message forward.
That's House Speaker Mike Johnson. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has just left Qatar, where there is still anger over last week's Israeli airstrike targeting Hamas in that country after Rubio had gone to Israel and told Fox this is how the war in Gaza must end.
Every single hostage is released, all 48, including those that are deceased. Hamas no longer exists as an armed group that's threatening Israel. If it's not going to end that way, then it's going to have to end through a military operation.
And speaking of that, Israel's launched a new ground offensive going after Hamas in Gaza City as Israel rejects as distorted and false a new UN human rights inquiry that concluded Israel's committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. President Trump's ready to crack down on crime in another city following his action in Washington, D.C.
This task force will be a replica of our extraordinarily successful efforts here.
It's going to Memphis. It'll include federal agents and National Guard troops supported by Tennessee's Republican governor. The president says Chicago will be next, but Illinois' Democratic governors threaten a lawsuit. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What police discovered inside an Indianapolis home. Nothing on radar. 64 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 87 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick, and here's what's trending at 6:02. Logan Quisenberry was arrested on September 11th after state police found pipe bombs and drugs in his Broad Ripple home. He's accused of firing into a car on I-465 in late August after the person driving the car honked at him for cutting them off on a motorcycle. The car was carrying a man, his wife, and 2 kids. Quisenberry faces charges including criminal recklessness, possession of a destructive device, and dealing marijuana. He'll be in court this morning. Greenwood leaders say they will begin fining assisted living facilities that repeatedly call 911 for non-emergencies. The new ordinance sets penalties at $500 for the first 3 infractions and $1,000 for each one after that. City data shows that long-term care centers accounted for about 15% of fire department runs last year. The data center debate in the Hoosier State is not going away. It may just be getting started.
The state is now up to 72 data centers, up 30% from the spring, and it's likely there will be more pop up in the coming months.
The fact of the matter is these data centers are happening, and they're going to happen. The question is where, what communities, what regions of the country are going to accept them and want them to be part of their community.
Gary Dick from Inside Indiana Business told WIBC's Tony Katz Monday morning that residents from multiple Indiana counties have voiced their concerns about plans for data centers in their areas and have even gotten some proposals completely shut down. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Playoff basketball is back tonight in Indianapolis as the Indiana Fever host the Atlanta Dream. It's their first postseason game at home since 2016. Tip-off at 7:30. IU head football coach Kurt Signetti is set to lead his 19th-ranked team against the Big Ten opponent, 9th-ranked Illinois, on Saturday.
They're a really good football team. Got a lot of good players, a lot of veteran players. Coach Bielema does a great job, him and his staff, in all 3 phases, offense, defense, special teams.
And Saturday's game kicks off at 7:30. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together in 1 minute. It's 6:04.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Yeah, check it out. Northbound 65 on the south side. We have a little bit of a slow before the south split, as that is a construction zone and a healthy one, lasting until the end of next year with those lane restrictions on 65 both directions from the south split to 465. And also have Madison Avenue under construction south of downtown, and that may be one of your reroutes. That puts you in of one lane of travel from Pleasant Run Parkway around south of downtown. So a couple of things there. If it's your first time through, please plan accordingly. Traffic sponsored by Freegie and Freegie Auctioneers. Freegie and Freegie Auctioneers presents the Big Boy Toy Auction September 26th at noon and September 27th at 10 a.m. Hosted by Auto Dealers Exchange and sponsored by the John Jones Auto Group. License number AC3120002. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. What's happening? Was it not Marcus?
Same here. Hello?
Oh, it was Marcus. What's up, man?
Hey. No, what's up? Hey, beautiful day today, Tony. No problems. Very similar to what we had yesterday. We're up to a high of 87 later on this afternoon. So hot, but not too humid. We'll cool comfortably once the sun goes down later tonight. Mainly clear, a low of 62. Pretty stagnant pattern this week, so no changes. Wednesday, sunny, 88. Same thing Thursday, sunny, highs in the upper 80s. Friday will be the hottest day. We're mostly sunny, flirting with 90. We should see some of the numbers cool into the lower 80s as we head into this weekend.
That's Marcus Bailey of Wish TV. Thank you, Marcus. Go live your life. 61 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:07.
This hour powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Douglas Mini Splits dealer.
Yes, Dr. Mearns of Ball State is going to have to answer for his employees, just to answer. Exactly what can an employee of the institution say regarding the assassination of Charlie Kirk, including, oh yeah, he deserved it. Yeah, he had it coming. He did it to himself. His skirt was too short. When female staffers say his skirt was too short, I want to know what President Mearns, I want to know what his response is. I don't get to decide the response. But it happened, and it happened very publicly. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. We're engaged in an investigation. Okay, I just gave you the information. And there's a screenshot, and you can find that anywhere. So now, what's the plan? I'm not saying you have to do anything. I am saying that you have to tell us what it is you have done. Whether there is action or inaction, we want to know. I don't want the president of Ball State in this position. I think that stinks. I think for his staff to do this to him is pretty awful. But here we are. Here it is. So it's Dr. Mearns, correct? I'm make sure I got that right. He's been on the show before. I would like an answer to the question. You know what? Yeah, it is. It's Dr. Mearns. Well, he has his law degree from University of Virginia. No, it's not. It's President Mearns. So forgive me. I don't want to use the wrong title there. What is the plan? We would like to know immediately. And you can announce it right here, sir. 5 microphones and no waiting. Also, I would like to ask General Kellogg, the special envoy from the president, when he's told the president that Russia is losing its war on Ukraine, what exactly were you referring to, sir? What exactly? You're at the Yalta European Security Conference. You're in Kyiv, assuring the president of Moscow's wilting position. What wilting position? I'm sorry, I have no idea what's happening here. What information are you giving the president? And why would you tell him that Russia is wilting when Ukraine continues to put up a fight, but they can't put up the fight without us and without our weapons. They will lose, and they will all die if the Russians want them to die. I'm not saying that Russia can't be defeated. Of course they can. But this is not accurate. I would love if this was accurate. I would argue there's certainly a conversation about Russia wanting this to end because they don't want to waste any more treasure and bodies on it. But they're willing to, and nothing has shown that Vladimir Putin isn't. So I am not sure. This was over there at the New York Post. If Putin thinks Russia is winning, his definition of winning and my definition of winning are absolutely two different things. If he was winning, he'd be in Kyiv. If he was winning, he'd be west of the river. If he was winning, he'd be on Odessa. If he was winning, he would have changed the government. Russia is, in fact, losing this war. But still killing Ukrainians and taking the Donbass, taking Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhzhia. A very odd statement. And I think if this is what the president is hearing, I don't, based on the evidence, think that that's accurate. He knows more than me? Sure. Except that's not an argument about winning. That's my take. Happy to discuss. The latest on the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The assassin is on suicide watch. And what did people know? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
This is Gary Dick. A funding request to house immigrant detainees at 632. Join IBJ October 21st as we honor our 2025 Women of Influence. RSVP by October 14th at ibj.com/events.
Hey, do you have more than $200,000 saved for retirement? You could put that money in the stock market, but you have no idea what will happen with it. Or you could make a smarter move and get a 20% upfront bonus and a competitive return that's averaged more than 10% annually over the last 10 years. Here's the math. If you invest $200,000, you get an upfront $40,000 bonus. That's $240,000, right?
That $240,000 could earn 10% or $24,000 in that first year. So by year's end, your original $200,000 could grow to $264,000. Get all the information by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120, or visit yourretirementguy.com. That's Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120, or visit yourretirementguy.com.
It seems like all kids do during the summer is drag dirt into the house. Well, they can stink up the house too, but here's the good news. The kids are back in school, and fortunately, there is Zero Res. Zero Res is the healthy way to get your home feeling fresh and clean again. Even if your house doesn't look dirty, you need to call Zero Res to remove the dust, dander, and bacteria in your carpets from a summer of fun. Zero Res will clean up the pizza spills and puppy piddles, and they get the yuck out of your air ducts as well. Lucky for you, you can score big this month with great savings. Hi, this is Denny Smith, and you can get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at just $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning too. The patented ZR water uses no soap, leaves no residue, and there are no harsh chemicals either. They just aren't needed to get things really clean. Now mention WIBC and get 3 rooms cleaned by the Zero Res Pros starting at $129, plus $75 off duct cleaning too. 317-388-5141. Online at ZeroResIndy.com.
Guys, it's game on at Synergen X and Low T Center, your TRT MVPs.
Book a free TRT consultation and automatically enter for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia, tickets, and more. Female patients, you can win too. Book at TRTMVP.com.
Counselor Hart thinking that Franklin Township schools sold out to Google. Maybe Counselor Hart screwed Franklin Township. We'll get to that conversation. No accusations yet. Matt Bear's got traffic. What's going on, Matt?
South side crash northbound 65 after Raymond Street on the right shoulder, slowing us down for about a mile here with stop-and-go traffic. That is a construction zone, so please be safe as you make your way through there. Not a lot of room. Also, inbound 69 looking good for you, Fishers. Good morning, by the way. Looking fine, 116th Street, 2465. No interruptions or delays for the moment. When that changes, I'll tell you. Traffic sponsored by Moderna. Ready when you are. Next Spike COVID-19 vaccine, mRNA by Moderna, is available now. Just visit mnextspike.com. That's mnexspike.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We have got ourselves, what do we have ourselves? How about 61 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center? The time is 6:16.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax, and not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Kids back in school and out of your hair? Now it's time to take care of yours. Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has an offer that will help give you the softest hair, skin, and nails, plus give life to your appliances and fixtures. Yes, we're talking about water softeners. For the month of September, Hope will give you $500 off the purchase of a water softener plus carbon filter. So give yourself the gift of soft water and call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
When you call, text, or chat 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline,
you'll talk with a trained specialist prepared to help anyone
experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis.
But the help 988 offers doesn't stop there.
They can also connect you to people and programs in your community
who will offer mental health assistance without judgment
and help you successfully navigate your everyday life.
Call, text, or chat 988.
When you need someone who gets you, they got you.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Sean, thanks so much for having me. And because President Trump and the Attorney General have prioritized resources to this all-important investigation, we're dedicating every asset we have to run the reverse daisy chain analysis of anyone that was in contact with a suspect that's currently in custody and anyone he contacted, called, and text messaged and had chats on online social media platforms with. That's the power of the FBI. That's the resources we brought in immediately with our cell phone analytic team to use the cell phone tower data dump system to geolocate specifically where this cell phone was and who had it, and after that, who he was talking to. And Sean, let me tell you a little bit about the information we've collected. We've collected information where, through witness interviews from the FBI and local law enforcement, that he essentially admitted after the shooting and assassination of Charlie Kirk, the suspect admitted to it. Furthermore, the evidence and information will come out. I won't stylize the evidence. The Attorney General is absolutely right. We can't do that. But I will say what was found in terms of information, a text message exchange where the suspect specifically stated that he had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do that. And when he was asked why, he said some hatred cannot be negotiated with.
So, if that's the case, we've got ourselves a problem. Although you could argue that you have said the same thing before, but you didn't then go about assassinating somebody. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, good morning. Good to be with you. We've discussed that in the political parlance. Communism can't win. Can't win. Sharia can't win. It can't win. Not even shy about those things. What possibly was Kirk talking about that can't be negotiated with? Love of country? His faith? Our argument is not things that would destroy Western civilization. Kirk, you didn't have to like it, was engaged in things that strengthen Western civilization. You didn't have to like the speech. Didn't make it hate speech. And on that subject, I will discuss the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, coming up at 6:45. Oh, dear Lord, what an absolute disappointment she is. But the more they find out about Kirk's assassin, connections to others, texts sent before, conversations had after, who knew what, and whether or not there was a conspiracy that took place. A very weird thing to consider, that there would have been a conspiracy, people who got together to decide to do this. Who else knew? When did they know? That's all being investigated. It was Dan Bongino discussing that yesterday on a couple of different news outlets that were having these conversations. We're looking into these things. And as for the assassin himself,
got to ask you this, and you know why, but is he being watched so that there can be no suicide?
Yeah, that's what we've been told from local officials who have custody over him right now, that he is in fact on watch. That is obviously going to remain a concern.
Allow me. The last time somebody was on suicide watch, they did a very bad job of watching. Just saying what is. If the answer is we can do this to America again, I'm just going to leave it there. I think I've said everything that could possibly be said at that moment. Yeah. Best thing to do is to leave it right there. Then there was, where was it? That the possibility that this assassin was obsessed with Kirk himself. Bongino saying, I think it's pretty clear based on the statements of family members, friends, and some of the messaging we have on these digital footprints left behind that he clearly had some obsession with Charlie Kirk. Clearly this was an ideologically motivated attack. Well, if you felt, well, we can't negotiate with these people, we have to do something about it. Yes, I think one could call that obsession. There's also now an obsession of the political left to scream about cancel culture. If your private employer says you can't say that, you've got to go, that does not reflect well upon our business, you have to go. Well, then there it is. I don't know what else you want. And I'm not listening to your tears at all. You can be angry about it. Do it over there. There was a doctor in New Jersey accused of celebrating the assassination of Kirk. This nurse reported him. They both got suspended pending investigation. That's not, of course, anything that people would consider rational. The doctor has resigned. The nurse is going to be able to keep her job. Doctors who cheer death are not people I want working on my children. They're not. Doctors who cheer Hamas are not people I want working on my children. I said this for a few weeks now. I check social media accounts on everyone I have to deal with medically before I let them look at me. If you're out there supporting Hamas or chanting Free Palestine, no thanks. Nope. Well, Tony, that's bigoted. I accept. No chance I'm letting you touch me or my wife or my children. Nope. That's not going to work. But if the hospital or physicians group says you cheering an assassination looks bad on us, you have to go, well, then that's it. You have to go. This conversation regarding the free speech, the hate speech, and, of course, the cancel culture hilarity. On this show, I have opposed cancel culture. On this show, I have opposed just randomly firing people. However, I will tell you, well, I shouldn't say randomly, or firing people because they say something you think is foolhardy. You got to ask yourself, is that the right move? But it happened, and the left said, you see, so it's happening, and that's all there is to it. You can't do anything about it, except to say every case is its own, and we should look at it. But private employers, we've got all the rights in the world. First Amendment does not apply if you've signed a contract saying that you will uphold certain standards. Does it? Especially when you fall short of the standard. Matt Bear's got traffic. What's up, Matthew?
What's up, Tony? Looking at the south side crash. Northbound 65 after Raymond. It's on the shoulder, causing stop-and-go traffic back to South Keystone Avenue with its 11-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior designer. Visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
James Briggs and Jacob Stewart from the Indy Star will be with us to debate data centers.
We turn it into the Thunderdome, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Cindy Druba, office manager for CSE Morse, needed a paperless solution, so she called on Applied Innovation.
We weren't paperless, and more companies are going paperless, and we wanted to have the option.
How has Applied Innovation's DocuWare solution helped your staff?
It's nice to have everything at my fingertips. You know, I'm not, digging in this drawer, digging in that drawer. I can just put in my search criteria and up they pop.
Applied Innovation even helps scan your documents.
We had 7 years of stored records, bankers' boxes upon bankers' boxes, and we used Applied to have, they actually scanned and stored all those documents for us.
And the bottom line benefit to using Applied Innovation?
Saved us a lot of time and a lot of space. Time is money.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions.
Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Nugenix Total T.
The testosterone booster?
Yes, it really works. I started taking it right away and I'm already seeing results.
I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week.
Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with Nugenix Total T, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference in the bedroom. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text HEFTY to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's HEFTY to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Attention Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair. Your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What the FBI is saying about the Charlie Kirk murder investigation. Nothing on radar, 64 degrees on Monument Circle, going up to 87. I'm Ryan Hedrick for Guardian Wells Financial, and here's what's trending at 6:30. Police say Tyler Robinson fired a single shot that hit the political activist in the throat while he was speaking at Utah Valley University last Wednesday. FBI Director Kash Patel says the investigation is in its early stages.
We are going to be interviewing scores of people on not just these chats on Discord, but any communications.
And Patel told Fox News that federal agents have seized multiple devices as part of the investigation. Utah Governor Spencer Cox says the state plans to pursue the death penalty. Robinson is scheduled to appear in court today. The government says it plans to revoke visas for people who celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination, and that's according to the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio.
Should not be giving visas to people who are going to come to the United States and do things like celebrate the murder, the execution, the assassination of a political figure. We should not. And if they're already here, we should be revoking their visa.
And dozens of people, including teachers and cops, firefighters, and students, have been either fired or arrested for publicly celebrating Kirk's killing. President Trump says he's deploying the National Guard to another city struggling with crime.
A federal task force made up of the National Guard and several law enforcement agencies is deploying to Memphis, President Trump says, to tackle the city's crime.
This team will deploy the full powers of federal law enforcement agencies and enforcement generally to restore public safety and get dangerous career criminals off of our streets.
The president says he plans to go city by city, telling reporters Chicago and St. Louis will follow. The governor of Illinois has rejected calls for a National Guard deployment in Chicago.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern reporting. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather and sports together in 3 minutes. It is 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. The Indiana Department of Correction plans to ask for $15.8 million in state funding to prepare an Indiana correctional facility to house immigration detainees. The DOC is expected to make the funding request at a state budget committee meeting Wednesday at Indiana State University in Terre Haute. Last month, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced that the Trump administration would partner with Indiana Governor Mike Braun to secure about 1,000 beds at the Miami Correctional Facility, about 70 miles north of Indianapolis on the campus of the Grissom Air Force Reserve Base. The number of reported farm fatalities in Indiana grew sharply last year, according to the latest report from Purdue University. According to that report, there were 28 reported farm fatalities in Indiana in 2024, which is more than 2 per month on average. That compares to 15 people who died on Indiana farms in 2023. The Dearborn County town of Dillsboro is seeking development proposals for a historic structure viewed as a cornerstone of the community's downtown revitalization. The 1.5-story structure was built around 1890, and the request for proposals is part of the town's effort to revitalize North Street in conjunction with a $1.5 million streetscape project and an effort to build a performing arts and public market hub. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Do you own an import-export business? If so, your company could save time and money with foreign trade zones. FTZs are designated sites across the United States where you can reduce, defer, and even eliminate import duties, helping you stay competitive in the global marketplace. If you're interested in becoming an FTZ, the Indianapolis Airport Authority can sponsor your application and start you on the path to savings, because smart companies get in the zone. Learn more at inzone.org.
East Central Indiana is on the move, and the next big conversation is happening in Muncie. Join us for Innovate East Central Indiana at Ball State University, September 17th. A powerful afternoon of ideas, innovation, and insight, part of the Innovate Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. We're talking talent, technology, and transformation, and what's next for the region. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate. The Indiana Department of Natural Resources has awarded more than $1.3 million to support 18 lake, river, and watershed land treatment projects in 12 Hoosier counties. The DNR says many of the projects aim to improve water quality by reducing sediment and nutrient inputs. And you can see the complete list at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
South side crash, northbound 65 past Raymond Street. It's on the right side of the interstate. This is already a very narrow construction zone, so traffic is backed up to Keystone Avenue. We're moving a little bit better since the last time we talked, but we still have that stoppage before Raymond Street as it moves into the south split. So please be safe in that. Delay time is 4 minutes. Also on the south side, northbound 65, now stop and go traffic after Southport Road up to Edgewood because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 61 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is, 6:36. We check on sports. Ryan Hedrick, what's up?
Tony, good morning. It's been a minute, but playoff basketball is back in Indianapolis tonight as the Indiana Fever hosts their first playoff game since 2016 at Cambridge Fieldhouse, taking on the Atlanta Dream in Game 2. After dropping the opener, it is win or go home. Tip-off at 7:30. Number 9, Illinois travels to Bloomington Saturday to take on number 19, Indiana. Hoosiers head coach Kirk says Illinois presents challenges in offense, defense, and special teams.
That's the one thing about Illinois is they know what it takes. You know, the success they had last year, return a good nucleus of guys, added some new ones. Ought to be a great matchup.
And Saturday's game kicks off at 7:30. The Indianapolis Colts look to go 3-0, taking on the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
Heat and cool your man cave, attic, garage, or bonus room without adding ductwork with Mitsubishi Electric ductless mini splits.
To find out more, just go to absolutecomfort.org.
Let's do it.
Live streaming over at the YouTubes. You can check it out for yourself. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning, 6:38 on my Flederman Von Riest. I said I would wear it today, and I am. The new one is out. I'm thrilled to be their brand ambassador, and you can find these right there over at PA Jewelers, sponsors of ours. The Von Riest collection assembled right here in Indiana. I love it. That's right. Shameless plug. Apologize for nothing. Great sponsor, helping them out. PA Jewelers and made in Indiana. I'm all in. But that's not the story. That's not why I bring it up. But people have been asking because I do share them on the midday show. I decided to bring it up here. I will get into the Pam Bondi story. As for what is the TikTok deal, I don't know. There's allegedly a deal regarding TikTok. I don't know what that deal is. You've got Secretary Scott Bessent saying that there's been conversations and chit-chat and jibber-jabber, and that President Trump and President Xi Jinping of China are set to speak.
We have a framework for a TikTok deal. The two leaders, President Trump and Party Chair Xi, will speak on Friday to complete the deal, but we do have a framework for a deal with TikTok.
I don't know what that means. Anything that involves China still owning TikTok doesn't work. Doesn't work. We are kidding ourselves. We are fooling ourselves. We are lying to ourselves. Just like when we say, it's good that the United States buys 10% of Intel. That'll keep it strong. It's completely insane. These things are not just not conservative things. These things are bad things. Well, Tony, that's traditional conservatism. We need to rethink conservatism. No. This was part of a conversation that I had over the weekend where I objected directly to Kurt Schlichter's insinuation. Maybe if kids can't afford homes, young adults can't afford homes, maybe we need to rethink traditional conservatism. No. Maybe we need to actually engage it and start getting rid of regulation and other things that get in the way of home ownership. And then if someone wants to buy a home, okay. And if they don't, okay. But if we think that somehow it's traditional conservatism and what we need to do is be adding in false things to an economy to make it easier for a 24-year-old, well, we're going to have ourselves a real disagreement there because that's not what we need. This is a larger scale conversation of, do we allow the populism to change the basics? Me, the answer is no. Fighting, and it's okay to say fighting. Fighting is very different than giving up the ghost, which is the subject we're about to get into regarding the Attorney General Pam Bondi. And why what she said, I'll let you decide. Is it a firing offense? Spoiler alert. Yup. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. You have got the storms that are all coming through. We had them all summer long. Now we're about to get to snow sitting on your roof, slowly melting. And if there are cracks, if there are leaks, what are you going to have? You are going to have a lot of problems, a tremendous number of problems. You need to talk to Moss Roofing right now and find out how you can get a free inspection on your roof. It's actually easy. You just call Moss Roofing 747-3665 and say, I'd like a free inspection. And they'll say, got you covered. You must have heard us on Tony Katz in the Morning News. And you'll say, absolutely true. And they will come out to the house, get on the roof, a thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, your windows. If there's storm damage, if there are any issues, they're going to show you the photos, explain it clearly, show you how it can get fixed, work with your insurance company for you. You take care of those small problems now. They don't become larger, more costly problems later. Talk to Moss Roofing today. For 30 years, giving Hoosiers peace of mind. They do honest work. You're going to love working with them. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Retirement isn't just about reaching the finish line. It's about knowing how to play the next movement. Without a plan, your savings can feel like noise instead of music. I'm Jason Hutchins with Guardian Wells Financial. I've seen too many families head into retirement without the guidance they need. That's why I wrote Orchestrate Your Retirement, a guide to composing a financially tuned plan. I'd like to mail you a copy at no cost. Call 317-660-0929. That's 660-0929. Inside this book, you'll find real-world strategies on turning savings into income, making smarter Social Security decisions, and reducing a bite of taxes in retirement. Call 317-660-0929. That's 660-0929 for your book today. Don't wait. Supplies are limited, and when they're gone, they are gone. Orchestrate your retirement. Discover the rhythm of a confident future.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. Guardian Wells Financial is not affiliated with Creative One Wealth or with any government agency. Licensed insurance professionals.
Call 317-660-0929.
Traffic on the 5s, and Matt Bear, what are you doing?
We're looking at the south side, Tony, and first it's a crash northbound 65 past Raymond Street. And this is causing stop-and-go traffic back to Keystone Avenue, delayed 5 minutes because of this crash in the construction zone. But this is also backed up northbound 65 from 465 back to Southport Road as it moves into this construction zone. So a couple of spots for you on the south side. Now on the northwest side, going from northbound 465 to northbound I-65, stopped on that exit ramp, so watch out for that. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
61 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:46.
Mark Dietel is the only local real estate agent I'd trust to sell my house here in Indy. By the way, Zillow ranking Indy number 2 among 2025's hottest markets. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Mark Dietel and his team helped Sarah in Fountain Square out. She invested in a property, ran into some financial trouble, and needed to sell the place for max dollars. She hired the Mark Dietel team, and they were able to sell her property within weeks for over list price. Nice work from Team Dietel.
Mark Dietel is the best in the business, and he has the guarantee that backs it up. He guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price or deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. That's what separates Mark Dietel. 755-4232 or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Game day starts with the Colts Ultimate Tailgate. Join WIBC October 12th at 9:30 a.m. at the Slippery Noodle for drink specials, games, prizes, and all the pregame fun you can handle. Don't miss Indy's Game Day Kickoff Party. More details at WIBC.com.
I've already stated more than once that my disappointment in Pam Bondi is legit. I expected very, very good things from her, and that's not what we got. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. I don't think we got total incompetence. Please don't get me wrong. I preferred her as a choice over Matt Gaetz every day of the week and twice on Sunday. But the conversation around Epstein, I put squarely on her shoulders. She failed there in an epic way. And then this madness regarding hate speech. I'm on the record. I don't have to explain myself to you guys. You know this. There is no such thing as hate speech. There is no such thing as a hate crime. I've taken it on the chin from people in Indiana that I oppose hate crimes legislation. Every time it comes out, I put forth to you, I am right and they are wrong. It's not more of a crime because it happens to pick your group. It's just not more of a crime. Never has been and never will be. Well, that's what motivated the person. Lots of things motivate people. Murder is murder. Now, we might call it different things. Remember, Charlie Kirk was not only assassinated, it was political terrorism. And we do say that terrorism has itself a larger, maybe more scope for law enforcement to do things. But that is not about creating subsets of individuals. That is about the very concept of actually implementing the law. We say that terrorism is a thing, a group engaged in an activity. So whether you call it domestic terrorism or political terrorism, we have long accepted this as a concept. If we say that it was wrong, it was more wrong that Charlie Kirk was assassinated because he's Christian, we would be saying that somehow there is, that is a hate crime in and of itself, and that, of course, is wrong. If Charlie Kirk was black, if Charlie Kirk was Jewish, if Charlie Kirk was a woman, if Charlie Kirk was Hispanic, it wouldn't make it all more of a crime. So we do allow for designations. Hate speech? Hate crimes? No. But specifically, let us talk about the speech, because that's what comes up from the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. This was on a podcast, the Kate Miller podcast, which I have nothing against Kate Miller. I met her once in the White House. She was lovely. Under a lot of stress. This is the first term. Sir, I have nothing against Stephen Miller, her husband, who clearly they're taking advantage of the opportunity of the popularity and the celebrity to be able to engage in some profiting. I mean, that is what's happening here. I can't stop her from doing a podcast. I don't even get worked up about it. But I do notice that that's what this is. And when your first guests are people like the Attorney General, maybe it's because you've got some inside influence. Just fact, leaving it there. This is one heck of a statement from the Attorney General. This is one heck of a statement. First, I share it with you. I don't think there's anything, I don't think there's any finger on the dump button stuff there, Producer Carl, but yeah, we should be good.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
That Katie Miller allowed that argument to take place is a head shaker, and I'm done with certainly the podcast. That Pam Bondi said that hate speech is a real thing, and somehow you're going to get targeted for hate speech, I would throw her out. I'd demand her resignate. Nope, I'd fire her. Gone. We're not going to agree to disagree. We're going to fight about this. She's wrong. She's wrong. And if this is what the administration is doing, they're wrong. Hate speech. What the bloody hell are you possibly talking about? Can you define it? Can you define it? The absolute horror with which some people responded to the assassination of Charlie Kirk, it is disgusting and despicable. I never said they can't say it. They can say it. Now, if they have a private employer who believes it reflects bad upon the business, that private employer can indeed fire them, but they don't go to jail for it. If they want to say to people, hey, let's go shoot so-and-so next, well, that's something completely different, because we all know that to be true. It is different. Hate speech is different than free speech? No, it's not. If only because the Supreme Court has said so numerous times, if only because we have the First Amendment, if only because we have the rational mind. We've been through this. Free speech doesn't exist for the people that you love or the speech that you love. It exists solely and exclusively for the people in the speech that you hate. Which is why I'm allowed to do this show. Because if you don't know, some people hate me. Yes, we call those people dopey. Those people, of course, are wrong. I'm a peach. And this show is spectacular, and you make it so. And there's a reason we keep going and keep growing and keep building it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm still here. Someone's going to decide it's hate speech and now it can't be on the air? The Attorney General is out of her mind. There is no disagreement. She's just wrong. She is wrong. I think it's a firing offense. And anybody who accepts this as good, holy hell, what kind of country do you want? Matt Barrett's got traffic on the 5s. What's up, Matthew?
All right, Tony, south side, northbound 65 slows from Southport Road up to 465. It's a construction zone, and we also had this crash in the construction zone on northbound 65 at Raymond. It is cleared, at least the traffic is cleared out, and that's a good start. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, do you have more than $200,000 saved for retirement? You could put that money in the stock market, but you have no idea what will happen with it. Or you could make a smarter move and get a 20% upfront bonus and a competitive return that's averaged more than 10% annually over the last 10 years. Here's the math. If you invest $200,000, you get an upfront $40,000 bonus. That's $240,000, right?
That $240,000 could earn 10% or $24,000 in that first year. So by year's end, your original $200,000 could grow to $264,000. Get all the information by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120, or visit yourretirementguy.com. That's Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120, or visit yourretirementguy.com.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 Accord SE for $329 a month and $0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends September 30th. See dealer for details.
A Quality Supply and Tool now through November 2nd. While supplies last, there's a huge Milwaukee sale going on. Enjoy lower prices on outdoor power tools like chainsaws and blowers. Or grab a select M18 4 or 6-piece combo kit and get not one, but your choice of 2 select M18 tools free. The sale's at all 4 Quality Supply and Tool locations in Bloomington, Lafayette, Indianapolis, and Jeffersonville. Whether you're a pro during the week or want to work like one on weekends, Quality Supply and Tool helps you do it by thinking outside the box. Store.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile per year lease. 2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
So with all the choices of where you could buy your furniture and mattresses, here's why you should purchase your new Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers or Flex Steel Furniture, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy or Stearns and Foster mattresses, or Berlin Gardens and Pollywood outdoor furniture from Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Unmatched customer service during and after the sale. Have a service issue, they're just one call away. They deliver and set up for free if you live within 75 miles of their store in Columbus. Saves you hundreds. Family owned, worth the very short drive. ThompsonFurniture.net.
Need furnace or heat pump service and want to work with a local independent dealer you can trust, like Stevenson Heating and Cooling? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Scrolling all day. Clickbait everywhere. With the facts, they're harder to find.
WIBC didn't just report the story. They explained why it matters. I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level on the go.
I check the WIBC website every morning before I even open social media.
Online, on social, on air. Stay in the know while you're on the go.
You've got to stay in the know.
Stay informed. Now more than ever, we have information. 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, what your Attorney General is saying about people celebrating the Charlie Kirk murder. Those stories and more after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 7 o'clock.
Tyler Robinson will go to court today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The suspected Charlie Kirk assassin will face murder and other charges.
The suspect told at least several individuals that he was planning to assassinate Charlie Kirk. In one of those instances, it was in a note he left for his romantic partner. In another, it was a text message to a separate individual. Neither person has been charged, but they could be down the road.
Fox's Garrett Tenney at the Utah County Jail. The Washington Post also reports Robinson confessed in an online group chat before his arrest. Another city is getting a federal crime crackdown like Washington, Memphis.
The effort will include the National Guard as well as the FBI, ATF, DEA, ICE, Homeland Security investigations, and the U.S. Marshals.
President Trump announcing that task force alongside Tennessee lawmakers, including Republican Governor Bill Lee.
I'm tired of crime holding the great city of Memphis back.
The president says Chicago will be next, where state and city leaders are not supporting a National Guard deployment.
Fox's Jared Halpert at the White House, where the president also touted the U.S. military blowing up another boat, killing 3 people suspected of transporting drugs from Venezuela.
We have proof. All you have to do is look at the cargo that was like it's spattered all over the ocean. Big bags of cocaine and fentanyl all over the place.
It comes 2 weeks after another drug boat was destroyed. We may hear more from the president a little later this morning before he takes off for Britain. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has left Qatar, where he urged them to continue pushing a ceasefire in Gaza despite last week's Israeli airstrike in that country targeting Hamas.
We want them to know how much we appreciate and respect all the time and work and effort they put in the past to these negotiations, and we hope they'll re-engage despite everything that's happened. We know they're upset about it.
Now, Israel has launched a new ground offensive targeting Hamas in Gaza City, warning civilians to leave. Americans listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What your attorney general is saying about people celebrating the Charlie Kirk assassination. Nothing on radar, 64 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 87 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick, and here's what's trending at 7:02. People who work in education and public service across the state are under review for social media posts reacting to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. One Department of Child Services staffer is no longer employed after posting a comment that officials called in poor taste. Attorney General Todd Rokita is urging Hoosiers to report posts that appear to condone the killing. His office says hundreds of submissions have come through the Eyes on Education portal, and verified comments will be made public. Plans for new data centers across Indiana are not going away, but neither is the opposition from plenty of Hoosiers. Jarrett Lewis explains.
It's a battle between communities and big tech. While on with WIBC's Tony Katz Monday morning, Gary Dick from Inside Indiana Business explained what residents are most worried about.
Big concerns include, resources, the amount of water it takes to cool and power, electricity to power these big data centers. They take a lot of energy. The environmental impact, a lot of concern about the incentives.
Since March alone, the state has seen a 30% jump in data centers, with there now being 72 of them. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Pipe bombs and drugs. That's what state police say they found when they searched a home of a man in Broad Ripple on September 11th. That man, Logan Quisenberry, was being sought for firing into a car on an interstate in late August. That car had 4 people in it, including 2 children. Quisenberry will appear in court today facing numerous charges, including criminal recklessness and possession of a destructive device. Greenwood leaders say they will begin fining assisted living centers that repeatedly call 911 for non-emergencies. The new ordinance sets penalties for $500 for the first 3 calls and then $1,000 for each one after. City data shows that long-term care centers accounted for 15% of fire department runs last year. The Fighting Irish are preparing for this Saturday's game against Purdue, and they're talking about consistency. Len Clark has more.
Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman says the Irish have to correct one major issue after an 0-2 start: consistency.
Consistency, I believe, is what wins or loses games when you have two good opponents competing against each other.
Freeman says breakdowns on defense, missed chances in the red zone, and miscues on special teams have proven costly. He added that accountability starts with him, but extends to the entire program. Len Clark, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the Indiana Fever play a win-or-go-home playoff game tonight at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It's the first playoff game they've had at home since 2016. They're playing the Atlanta Dream, and the tip-off goes up at 7:30. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What is happening, Ryan? Looking at the south side crash, northbound 65 at Edgewood Avenue, blocking the center lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to Southport Road. Once you're through that, you get into the I-65 construction zone. We had a crash northbound 65 after Raymond. That is gone, as well as the backup. So that's good news for you. In the meantime, it's still a construction zone from 465 to the south split. Really tight one, as a matter of fact, so please be careful as you make your way up to downtown Indianapolis. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy Button is back with even more easy press for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Ryan Morse, Wish TV meteorologist, what's happening?
Yeah, another warm one for today. Sunny skies to start. We'll turn partly cloudy at points this afternoon, but high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Yesterday we hit 89. I think we'll be a few degrees cooler than that for today. Tonight, mostly clear, low temperatures in the lower 60s. And for Wednesday, mostly sunny, another day where we're getting into the upper 80s. That trend holds Thursday and Friday. If you're looking for any sort of relief, it does appear by the end of the weekend into early next week, we'll start to have a pattern flip. Temperatures returning closer to average and better rain chances by next Monday.
That is Ryan Morse right there of Wish TV. Ryan, thank you. 60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:07.
This hour powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Ductless Mini Split dealer.
Some may argue that you have to reach out and speak to people you disagree with. I have no problem in talking to somebody who sees things differently than I do. I have no desire to engage in the elevating of madness. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. I've read 2 paragraphs of a op-ed. I'm like, I'm done here. But this is a conversation about data centers. And again, I am looking for the answer of what's the real issue and what do you want to replace them with? If data centers are ugly, what would you rather have? If data centers take too much power, what would you rather have? If data centers don't create jobs, what would you rather have? It's a question. I'm not saying data centers are the answer. I'm not pro-data center, but I'm not anti-data center. Can we have some data, please? So when I saw this from Michael Paul Hart, city county councilor, who's opposed to the Google data center, who writes, Franklin Township superintendent sold out to Google for an undisclosed amount. Refused to inform me of the amount received from Google, claimed he can't say because of a signed NDA. I didn't know what that meant. Jacob Stewart of breaking this story. And this is from the Franklin Township Community School Corporation. As a school district, we have to face the financial reality. Franklin Township's tax base is 86% residential, and because of the imbalance, the school corporation receives $11 million less in operations funding each year on a per-student basis compared to similar-sized school corps. The only way to address that inequity is through commercial development that expands our tax base. The state of Indiana has already recognized the strain on homeowners through the passage of the property tax relief. While that relief is important for residents, it provides no mechanism for schools to replace the revenue that is lost. The only way a community can increase and expand the revenue stream is by bringing in commercial development. Revenue stream means taxes, of course. We know some community members remain concerned about abatements. Those concerns are understandable. But the agreement reached with the city of Indianapolis and Google ensures that fair property tax revenue flows to our schools. That means this project strengthens school funding, and those dollars benefit students and teachers. So the school district is saying, we want this. We're endorsing the Google data center. The counselor is saying that they were sold out by the school board or by the superintendent, and now saying that they got money from Google and aren't willing to tell you. I don't know if anything here says they got money from Google. Rather, they're talking about tax dollars that they think they're going to get from the data center. So, is this an accusation? Did Franklin Township's community schools get money from Google? If so, how much? And if you tell me you signed an NDA, what are you, out of your mind? You're a public school corporation. How much money did you get from a private enterprise? And if private enterprises can give to Indiana public schools without anybody knowing, maybe it's time to end all Indiana public schools. And I mean now. But on the other side of this, I still haven't heard from Councilor Hart what he has against data centers. Where's the argument? That's all we're looking for. Governor Braun up next. We'll ask him about data centers as well. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? You know, if the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months, no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off, restrictions apply, and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET, or gutterhelmetindy.com, and never clean your gutters again. Charlie Kirk remembered.
I mean, he could clean the clock of anybody in a debate. We all know it.
93 WIBC.
Suspected Kirk assassin remains jailed before a court date tomorrow.
What happens next?
Has become really detached and been radicalized.
Happens here.
Following Israel's attack.
Shocking airstrikes.
It's okay to have a different opinion.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Firefighters busy this morning.
Gutsy, gritty.
Stay in the know.
The atmosphere out there was electric.
While you're on the go.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Pat Sullivan here.
It's that time of year in Indiana when you don't know if you need your AC unit blasting or your furnace to start kicking. Better have both prepared with a $49 AC unit and furnace tune-up from Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Is it sweater weather or tank top weather? Nobody knows. But we do know that you can ensure total comfort inside your home for only $49. Call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
Traffic on the 5s. Matthew Baer in the WIBC Traffic Center. What's going on?
All right, Tony, looking at the south side, it is a crash northbound 65 at Edgewood Avenue. That's after Southport Road, okay? It's in the center lane and just pushed to the right lane, in fact. So we do have stop-and-go traffic back to Stop 11 Road. After that, northbound 65 hit the brakes a little bit after Keystone Avenue up to the south split as you make your way through the construction zone. Northbound 65 slows out of the north split to Meridian Penn. Inbound 69 delayed 2 minutes, 106, 282nd. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:16. So do we want the data centers? Is this really all about power? And if we're talking about power, AES wants a rate increase. And what we're saying from the state is no, as a matter of fact, a rate decrease. Well, how does this all work? Tony Katz, good to be with you. The Popcorn Moment brought to you by Booher, Booher, BooherRemodeling.com. Your kitchen, your bathroom. If it's inside the four walls, Booher Remodeling is the call. You want a kitchen that works? You want those energy-saving appliances? You want to really take a look at how you have function in your kitchen or in your bathroom? Booher is the call to make. For 2 decades, taking care of the people in Central Indiana. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen. We're talking about the highest quality brand names you know and you trust. Booher will guide you through the entire process. That's what their 5-step design process does. Takes you through everything. You know everything that's going on, and you end up with a kitchen and a bathroom, a basement that you love without the stress, which is, of course, everything. Booher Remodeling, 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Katz sent you, 317-852-5546. Booher Remodeling, 852-5546, or online at Booher, Booher, BooherRemodeling.com. Governor Mike Braun joins us right now, the governor of Indiana. And, sir, let's start with this data center conversation, because there's a lot of back and forth here in Indianapolis with this Google data center. There's a conversation about the power these data centers use up, a question about whether or not they bring any jobs, or are these jobs all taken by people on H-1B visas, and therefore it's not going to Americans who could do this job. Is Indiana for or against data centers?
So obviously, Tony, has been the talk of the town across the state. You go to a rural county that struggles for assessed value, any kind of investment. They view it maybe as a way to broaden their tax base, but you are correct. There's a ton of capital investment, the construction kind of multiplier effect, the jobs. Those dissipate, of course, after it's done. Once you've got it, it uses a ton of electricity and a decent amount of water to boot. So double-edged sword to some extent. Depending on which county you're in, and I compare it to wind and solar, where we now have moratoria in 70 of our counties roughly, where they've already staked out their turf, don't want any more. It's got a foothold in several counties, but most due to the fact that people have risen up, and even if it doesn't make sense necessarily, it's putting them on hold. So this is the latest version of it, and it's in the context of utility rates marching in a direction that for many it becomes unbearable. So how do you sort through it? I think, number one, the legislature passed a good piece of legislation that requires any data center that's coming in that has not already gotten started has to pay for 80% of the construction costs, the generation of electricity, so it doesn't burden ratepayers. So I think that's where we start. And then you can see the east side of Indy, folks didn't want it for a variety of reasons. And then it's going to be up to the data centers and the utility companies to make the case that it's going to be neutral in terms of impacting the cost of electricity for everyone else.
Governor Braun, allow me.
Yes.
Is Indiana in favor of data centers or not? Because I didn't get the answer to that question.
Indiana is going to take it carefully. When there's something new like this, I'm going to measure it based upon what I told you. It's not a categorical yes or no. We want to be open for business to anyone that wants to come here and invest. But if it's going to have impact that's not along with high-paying jobs, you got to abate many of these out of the gate to where they don't even get the benefit of local property tax revenue. It's got to be more balanced than what's come out of the gate. Of course, we want any investment to come here, but not if it's going to do things that have unintended consequences or doesn't make sense for local rule in terms of what local government wants to do and the citizens that raise their voice one way or the other.
Which would sound to me, sir, like we don't want just any business to come here. Talking to Governor Mike Braun, the governor of Indiana, but you bring up the rates, you bring up utility costs, and we know that AES wanted the rate increase, and we now have the recommendation of no, not a rate increase, a rate decrease. What was the recommendation, and what has been the response from AES regarding utility costs?
So Abby Gray is the new counselor for consumers when it comes to the ratepayer side of the discussion. She's got a lot of experience in it, and that, in her analysis, I think was what she thought. She's in a position of independence there, that rate hikes have been too commonplace without taking the other side of the equation into consideration. So her recommendation, it's not a small decrease, but it is one, and I think it's mostly to show that, hey, you're not a juggernaut that gets everything you want without discussion, and yet we need electric generation with the new demand out there for it. Demand for electricity was flat as a pancake. We only produced 20 gigs in our entire state for families, households, and businesses. One of these data centers can use up to 1 gig, almost all of them a half gig. So we got to be careful, especially when it takes 4 to 5 years to bring any new generation online. And that's generally going to be natural gas. And we got a lot of natural gas pipelines, but we don't own much natural gas ourselves as Hoosiers. It's a very complicated dynamic. It's not going to be easy to sort through. Transparency, getting all the stuff out there so people can measure it. And then it will boil down to what local governments are going to want to do, mostly very analogous to wind and solar.
By the way, when you say gigs, you mean gigawatt hours. I just want to make sure we're all on the same.
Gigawatt hours, yes.
Talking about the same
thing that struck me, when one entity can use a gig, I thought for sure we'd be producing 90 to 100 gigs a year for all households and existing businesses. That shows you how voracious the appetite is for electricity when you're a data center.
Well,
so
I think I think the question might very well be, Governor Braun, is how do we create this energy? You brought up solar and wind before. Allow me to be the first person, if I am the first person, to say to you, that dog won't hunt. We should not be engaged in these things that don't actually create energy. Are we a state that should be keeping on coal? Are we? You have brought up the idea of some levels of nuclear. Is there any desire to go in other directions other than the absolute failure of solar and wind, in my view?
Well, your view is correct there in the sense that that was mostly a political impetus from the Biden administration. All of the transmission authorities, PGM, MISO, which we have both in Indiana, only counted roughly 2% towards baseload. So you've got to have something that's more of a dedicated source. That's why I put a suggested hold on shutting down any existing coal facilities. I told you earlier it takes 4 to 5 years to get a natural gas plant stood up. And then probably the long-term solution, which I want Indiana to lead on, is SMRs, small modular reactors. They are safe. They check off so many things that make sense in terms of base load that's going to be there when the sun's shining or not shining, wind blowing or not blowing. So that's the long-term goal. If Indiana's at the head of that, we will flourish for many different reasons, because now more forms of manufacturing need electricity. The demand was flat as a pancake just 3 years ago.
And I'm not opposed to nuclear, but you just said it takes 5 years to stand up a natural gas plant. I believe that's the term you used. The question is, why?
Because of the permitting and the stuff you've got to do federally and by state, and the time it takes to construct one of them. These are not things that you can put up quickly. Build a simple warehouse, you can get it done in a year to a year and a half. That was a business I was in for 37 years. Putting up a data center, building a new electric generation, a lot more complicated. So it means all of this rush towards data centers and anything else, chip factories, battery factories, it's going to take time to get the infrastructure in place to generate the electricity. And for us to be on the leading edge of it, with utility rates being an issue, that means we need more generation. It just isn't going to happen overnight. Any state that finds any edge in terms of how to get more good, reliable base load will be benefiting in the long run.
But you're not opposed to data centers. You're not saying we shouldn't have any data centers. That's not your
No. As I talked to a county yesterday, a rural county, that gave me a whole other take on it. We don't have the ability through our infrastructure that we've got in our county to add tons of jobs. Our schools couldn't take it. Our healthcare services couldn't. But gosh, if we can get a billion-dollar investment, that would do what wind has done for Benton County, and they love it up there. They chose to do it. So every county is different, and Indiana's open for business, and we got a great climate. We got to just make sure, though, that we don't, get problems with existing resources that these businesses might require, and then it's going to boil down eventually just to what solar and wind have done. And for other reasons, which you cited earlier, that was more a political thrust from the Biden administration than it was something that made sense for true baseload. Till there's real battery storage that doesn't make it even more expensive, you can't really count them on days when you don't have the sun shining or the wind blowing.
Before I let you go, sir, let me bring it to your administration. And I have concerns about our economic outlook, which I have voiced on this show and certainly have not been shy about in any way. You have had, over the last couple of months, some national news made by the Lieutenant Governor, Micah Beckwith, most recently regarding Haitian immigrants, those under TPS, temporary protected status, and others, and by the Secretary of State, Diego Morales, who has still not answered questions. There is an election that will come, midterm elections, November 3rd, 2026, where Hoosiers will decide to either reelect or have a new Secretary of State. Will you be endorsing in that race?
So to date, I have not endorsed because there's competition in it, and I've tried to not weigh in on endorsements because where do you start, where do you stop?
People you like and people you don't?
Well, to me, it's a why are you going to stick your neck out there? Why should you? To me, you run your campaign, you convince the voters. Having people weigh in with endorsements, you don't know how much that really means anyway. Slippery slope for someone that leads the party in our state. And I've been very clear that people ask me all the time to do it. You make the case just like I did when I ran for Senate and when I ran for governor. And I can't recall getting endorsements from anyone within the party structure. I toughed it out in the trenches and made the case myself.
Well, Governor Braun, I can appreciate it if you don't want to endorse, but I believe the endorsement came from President Trump for your lieutenant governor pick. The endorsements do happen. They do exist out there, but I could also appreciate not wanting to give the endorsement. We're going to talk more about these data centers. We're going to talk more about the energy. This is really moving Hoosiers in a big way about what kind of economic vision you have and we want to have for the state. I appreciate you always coming on. The willingness is appreciated. Governor Mike Braun, can't thank you enough. We will get to traffic
welcome,
in just a little bit. Keep it right there. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220. That's Tony Katz to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What your governor is saying about data centers. Nothing on radar, and it's 64 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 87 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick, and here's what's trending at 7:31. Depending on where you live in Indiana, you might notice a new data center going up. Governor Mike Braun spoke about the surge minutes ago with Tony Katz in the Morning News.
Due to the fact that people have risen up, and even if it doesn't make sense necessarily, it's putting them on hold. So this is the latest version of it, and it's in the context of utility rates marching in a direction that, for many, it becomes unbearable.
But does the state support or oppose data centers?
It's not a categorical yes or no. We want to be open for business to anyone that wants to come here and invest.
Indiana currently has 72 data centers, which is 30% more than what the state had in March. The man accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk is expected in a Utah courtroom today.
Tyler Robinson expected to be charged today on state charges in Utah County in Spanish Fork in Charlie Kirk's assassination, with FBI Director Kash Patel telling Fox News a positive match of DNA was found on evidence the killer left behind, and that Robinson's family is talking.
He subscribed to left-wing ideology, and even more so in these last couple of years.
The FBI also doing a deep search of Robinson's digital footprints and potentially the people and groups he communicated with leading up to the attack. The Department of Justice also saying it's likely to file federal charges in the case.
That's Fox's Jeff Manasso reporting. President Trump says a deal with China may keep TikTok operating in the U.S.
I've had more people say, could you try and keep TikTok alive? I use TikTok. I mean, I have to admit it. In the election, and look how I did with you. No Republicans come close.
In 24, Congress passed a law signed by President Joe Biden requiring TikTok and other apps linked to foreign adversaries to divest U.S. operations or face a nationwide ban. Annunciation Catholic school students will return to class this week after a shooting at a Minneapolis church. School resumes on-campus activities today. The shooting happened on August 27th during back-to-school mass, where a 23-year-old man fired through a window, killing 2 children and injuring 21 students and adults. Gas prices here in Indiana up to $3.15 a gallon this morning, says Gas Buddy. That's on par with what the national average is at $3.12. And sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Playoff basketball is back in Indianapolis for the first time since 2016. As far as the Indiana Fever are concerned, they host a playoff game against the Atlanta Dream tonight at Cambridge Fieldhouse. It's game 2. It is a must-win after Indiana dropped game 1 in Atlanta on Sunday. Tip-off at 7:30 tonight. The Indianapolis Colts are off to a 2-0 start for the first time since 2009, and now they're hitting the road for a divisional matchup Sunday with the Tennessee Titans.
They're a team that plays hard and physical, and they fly around. Got a lot of respect for Denard Wilson, their D coordinator, and Callahan, their head coach. I think he does a good job with the offense.
That's Indianapolis Colts head coach Shane Steichen.
That anytime you play a division opponent, it's different. There's a different feel to it. There's a different vibe to it because you got to win championships. You got to win division games.
And Sunday's game kicks off at 1, and it's a top 25 matchup in Bloomington this Saturday as number 9 Illinois comes to town against number 19 Indiana. Hoosiers head coach Kirk says the Fighting Illini are tough to read defensively.
They play a lot of guys, got a lot of good players. Run to the ball, get a lot of hats to the football. Good pressure on the quarterback, tight coverage. Really tied together well with good players.
And Saturday's game kicks off at 7:30. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan? Southside crash northbound 65 at Edgewood Avenue, right wing closed, and traffic stop and go back to stop 11 Road. Inbound 69, 8-minute delay, 116th Street, 282nd. Northwest side, northbound 465 slow from 86th Street up to 865. Inbound 70 slow after rural into the north split. And southbound 65, 70 slowing down from the north split down to Fletcher. That's a construction slowdown. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior designer. Visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:36. Your next car, your next truck, it's at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. That's where you get all of the good stuff. Andy Moore Ford with all of the deals. Incredible opportunities. First of all, they've got everything right there on the lot. Easy for you to see, but if you don't want to go to the lot, like you're like, I'm not going to the lot. Don't get everything online. Just go to Andy Moore, M-O-H-R, AndyMooreFord.com and buy your vehicle online. Easy to do. Piece of cake. Actually, just go, search all the selection, make the deal, and then the car will be delivered to you. That's it. You just like sit at home and maybe wear pants, and then the next thing you know, you got a car waiting for you. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. And also Ford F-150 XL trucks under $40,000, over 100 to choose from. And plus you buy a new Ford and make no payments for 3 months. Talk to Andy Moore Ford today. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at Andy Moore Ford, M-O-H-R, AndyMooreFord.com.
Guys, Hammer and Nigel here. This fall sports season, it's game on at Synergen X and Low T Center, the MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. Ready to tackle low energy and achieve your health goals like a pro? They've got the winning game plan with personalized TRT. Book a free consultation and automatically enter for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia or tickets to major sporting events.
Get fit like an MVP at Synergen X and Low T Center. Book that free TRT consultation and you will automatically be entered for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia, tickets to your favorite local sporting events. Winners are selected every week. Female patients, you're eligible too. Book right now at TRTMVP.com. That's TRTMVP.com. Book a free TRT consultation and be an MVP where your health is concerned, and you might be a winner. TRTMVP.com. That's TRTMVP.com.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. That's 800-917-8730.
Heat and cool with nearly geothermal efficiency in places you can't fit ductwork with Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits.
Just go to AbsoluteComfort.org. That's AbsoluteComfort.org.
Whenever I'm out wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen.
Today on the marketplace, who doesn't need a good exam chair, right? Right? Right. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. During downtime, I'm clearing my head, getting ready for what's next on the show. I'm on Facebook Marketplace. Cool stuff, odd stuff, weird stuff, strange stuff. All the stuff is on the Marketplace. Marketplace presented by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It is your cash. Go get it. The Attorney General has it. You deserve it. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Go make that happen or text my name, Tony, to 46220. Fast, easy, free to use. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Live stream is happening. Matt Bear is there. And oh, look, he's wearing a T-shirt that's too small for him.
This one is too small for me. I'm not.
Yeah, okay. Well, now we're admitting it. That's the first step.
I feel constricted.
That's the first step. And the second step is personal shopper.
I can't afford one of those.
Oh, don't worry. We're about to get emails. We'll get you one.
Thank you.
We will get you one. If somebody would like to outfit Matt Bear, we can make this happen. No, not you. Not you, Hollinger, or whatever you are. Hollister, no, not you. We can't. If we have you, he won't be wearing a shirt at all. That's it. Now, I found, Matt Bear, on the Marketplace, an exam chair.
Oh, like you take a test with a number 2 pencil.
No. It was my grandpa's old eye exam chair, over 40 years old, right? You sit in it and you lean your head back and it's got the headrest, and then you could perform the, the exam.
Whatever you want.
It's creepy, right?
I don't know I didn't even know what it was when I looked at it. I was like, this is the most uncomfortable recliner I've ever seen in my life. Turns out to be I thought it was a dentist chair, but it's an eye exam chair.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Some people in the chat room are being very, very bawdy.
What did they say?
Well, they were worried it was going to be some other type of exam chair.
Yeah. No. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, Carl.
Yeah. They're now, it says exam chair, over 40 years old, I need gone, extremely heavy base.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're selling me. I'm in.
It was $300. It's in Martinsville. You love Martinsville.
There every day.
Right? It was $300, but according to this right now, $0.
Yeah, because nobody will buy this thing, let alone take it for free. Take the heavy chair with a heavy base and put it on the sidewalk for somebody to remove, or just get rid of it yourself. Nobody wants this, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but this is, I mean, what do you do with it? What would be a practical use for an eye exam chair in your living room or garage? What do you do
as the chat room has explained, you could redo scenes from Clockwork Orange.
Now I'm in. That's all you
Are
had
you
to
Malcolm McDowell?
Yeah, no. I was thinking more Little Shop of Horrors, but even though that's more dentistry, but, you know, it's...
right.
Yeah, I guess you could pry my eyes open and make them dry and show me horrible scenes on a flat screen TV, I guess, you know. Right. Do the Clockwork Orange thing, you know.
So you're saying even for no dollars, you're not taking this chair? You're not going to show up with a truck and a friend because first you need a truck and a friend, and then pick this thing up?
No, I don't want it. I absolutely don't want this. I feel bad for the person because, you know, they have this really nice hardwood floor, and I could tell by the picture, and I'm sure they want to get rid of it, but there's nothing to do with this chair, and I feel sorry for them.
I'm here to tell you, I think this might be a pickup.
What?
For $0?
What are you going to do with it? Are you going to take it to an event? This is a cigar smoking chair that you sit in and light your Monte Crisco's.
With the headrest, this might be a cigar smoking chair.
A new VIP chair.
Oh,
right?
There you are.
No, I gotta get the airline seats for the VIP. I gotta make that. I have so much work to do. Goodness gracious.
Spending a lot of money.
It is there on the marketplace. Find every listing we have from the marketplace over at WIBC.com. Presented by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Let us know if you get the chair or if you'll deliver it to Matt Baer's house and help him carry it up the stairs. Speaking of Matt Baer, he's got traffic. What's up, Matty Boo Boo?
South side crash, northbound 65 at Edgewood Avenue. That's after Southport Road, and it has the right lane blocked. And traffic jammed up back to County Line Road for a 9-minute delay. After that, northbound 65, you drag again from South Keystone Avenue to the south split. That's construction. Inbound 69, delayed 12 minutes, 116th Street, 282nd. Inbound 70, slow after Emerson into the north split. And southbound 65, 70, slow construction slowdown from the north split down to Fletcher Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Baer on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
We have got ourselves 60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:46. We've all been very fortunate. The weather's been kind of easy, but that's not going to last. Storms will return. Winter weather will be here. Ice will be on the power lines. Power line snaps, and now your family's out of power for an hour or a day or longer. Your plan right now is to not worry about that. Call Generator Supercenter and get a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home. Generator Supercenter is the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. You want to talk to them. If you're away on vacation, the power goes out, why do you want to worry about that? With a Generac automatic standby generator from Generator Supercenter, the power comes right back on, and you get 24-hour monitoring. And they're professionals. They're skilled technicians and electricians do the install. Everything is done right, top notch, and you don't have to worry about a thing. Visit the showroom, 96 at 69. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. Check out everything they have to offer. See how they're going to connect it to your home. Talk to them today. Get the peace of mind. Solve the problem before it becomes a problem. Generator Supercenter, 317-827-0808. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter, 827-0808.
Hey, do you have more than $200,000 saved for retirement? You could put that money in the stock market, but you have no idea what will happen with it. Or you could make a smarter move and get a 20% upfront bonus and a competitive return that's averaged more than 10% annually over the last 10 years. Here's the math. If you invest $200,000, you get an upfront $40,000 bonus. That's $240,000, right?
That $240,000 could earn 10% or $24,000 in that first year. So by year's end, your original $200,000 could grow to $264,000. Get all the information by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120, or visit yourretirementguy.com. That's Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120, or visit yourretirementguy.com.
Hey, it's Rob. And, fall can be the perfect season to tackle those home improvement projects before the weather turns cold. And if your windows are old, drafty, or just plain inefficient, now is the time to finally do something about it, because Universal Windows Direct has an incredible September offer. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. So whether you need 4 or 14, you only pay for half. And to make it even easier, you'll get 0% financing for 3 years. So no interest, no pressure. And here's a bonus you'll love. $500 off your entire home improvement project when you schedule now. So let's review. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. 0% financing for 3 years, and $500 off your entire home improvement project. Some restrictions may apply, so to get all the information and schedule your free in-home estimate today, call 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Or check them out on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Nobody likes a cold shower. LD Smith has hot deals on water heaters. Save up to $300 on a new water heater install.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Catch Hammer and Nigel live from the Fall Home and Outdoor Living Show this Friday from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Grand Park Events Center in Westfield. They'll be checking out over 200 vendors, home displays, and all the fun happening at the show.
I appreciate Governor Braun coming on the show. If anything can be said about Governor Braun is that, my gosh, a lot more willing than Governor Holcomb ever was. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning, and I got to appreciate the willing that I push back, or that I push hard, or that I don't apologize for any of those things. I'm not about to start, and we really are at a place where we need to understand what it is we are referring to when we talk about concepts of civility and when we talk about the job. Civility is not please and thank you. Our conversation was civil, but it was pointed. Pointed's okay, right? You can't have weakness. You can't let simply things just slide by. In years past, my interview style was about letting somebody speak fully and then allowing us to discuss what it is that got said. What I have come to is that approach is mostly accurate and far different than the approaches I think we see on cable news and other places. But the well-positioned response, pushback from within, not all the time, creates a value and forces the person you're speaking to be able to back up to reinforce their position. I put forth to you that it is wrong for us as Hoosiers to say, I don't care what kind of business comes to Indiana. And I would advise Governor Braun never to say that again. We absolutely do care. Because if we don't care, let's just create a bunch of tax credits for porn. No. If we don't care, I think that we should be the dispensary capital of the United States. We should be growing weed as far as the eye can see. Hold on. No. We do care. We care. So let's start talking about what it is we care about. I put forth to you still that there is a real problem with the economic vision of the state of Indiana, in that there is no vision. And I think that this conversation we had myself and Governor Braun kind of reinforces that. Not kind of, does reinforce that. If we want to talk about other ways to bring power to the state and then talk about these data centers, I think that's smart. And this whole idea of the reactors, of engaging nuclear, is one that I favor. Let us discuss and see if this is where we want to be. I am not opposed to data centers, and I still haven't heard the argument that makes it, my gosh, under no circumstances whatsoever. Under certain circumstances might not be right for a certain area. Under certain circumstances, absolutely is right for certain areas. But just based on a this is bad for us is a nonsense. It's a nonsense argument. We do not have a vision yet. And my concern is that economically right now, Indiana is in the dark ages. There's not a vision for this state at all. And I don't believe the IEDC is set up to provide the vision. I appreciate the governor coming on. I appreciate him answering the questions. I appreciate him dealing with the pushback. I assume he'll come back. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But we can't say, well, everything's good for Indiana. No, not everything is good for Indiana. I think we should start talking about planting our flag in certain spaces. Matt Bear's got traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Southside crash, northbound 65 at Edgewood Avenue, right lane closed, backed up to County Line Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. Matt Bear, WIBC Traffic.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Have you heard about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation? Your neighbor Bruce did.
Well, the project I was wanting to accomplish was my driveway. I wanted to see if I could get something that looked halfway decent, that would last a while. We also had a side patio surface redone.
Garage, basements, patios, sidewalks, driveways, Galaxy will transform your surface in as little as 1 day.
The crew was very, very good, excellent. The end result was just super. It is non-slippable surface. I get this if you want to make sure you're not going to have many people slipping or sliding when it rains.
Commercial or residential, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
The end result was just super. It was very easy to keep this surface clean. I had tire tracks all over it, and I just took out my hose, sprayed it down, and it looks just like new again.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We are out of this world.
Do you suffer from sore feet, back, knee, or hip pain? The Good Feet Arch Support System has helped many people find relief, like Tim.
I'm always telling my colleagues who have sore feet, this is the greatest thing. I'll even take my shoe off and show them. And I believe in the product so much. When you have something that works, you kind of want to share it with people. It worked for me, maybe it can work for you.
Or do you wake up at night with heel pain, like Crystal?
I would wake up in the middle of the night with all kinds of pain in my heels and in my arch. So I went to the Good Feet store. And ever since then, I've been pain-free. I wear them every day. I wear them when I walk, at the gym, when I work. They're great.
Get back to walking, working, and exercising, and imagine a life without pain. No shots, no surgery, no medication. You've got nothing to lose but your pain. Stop into the Good Feet store today for a free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65.
Thanks to the Good Feet store. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
This is the run my own business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey. where your dreams and possibilities become moments. Through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Everyone knows that PA Jewelers in Brownsburg is the place to get one-of-a-kind jewelry pieces. Diamonds, gold, gemstones, watches, everything. But PA Jewelers at the farmhouse is also the place to sell your jewelry, your watches, your coins, or bullion. PA Jewelers has the best prices and the best payouts. And they walk you through the process so you know what your pieces are worth and what you're getting. PA Jewelers at the farmhouse, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg, or online at pajewelers.jewelry. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, what your governor is saying about data centers, what police say they discovered in a Broad Ripple home, and why the ACLU of Indiana is filing a lawsuit against Indiana State University. Those stories and more after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis. It is 8 o'clock.
He reportedly confessed. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's a big story before the suspected Charlie Kirk assassin, Tyler Robinson, goes to court today to face murder and other charges.
In messages obtained by the Washington Post from an online group chat, the suspect told a group of about 30 people, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've all been amazing." We know the suspected killer also told at least a couple of people about his plans prior to the shooting.
Fox's Garrett Tenney at the Utah County Jail. Attorney General Pam Bondi just posted on X, hate speech that crosses the line into threats of violence is not protected by the First Amendment. Adding, for far too long, the radical left has normalized threats and shared political violence. That era is over, and some could face a crackdown.
Antifa isn't any one group. It's an umbrella term for supporters of a far-left movement opposed to what they see as far-right fascism. President Trump's asked by a reporter, does Charlie Kirk's assassination create an opportunity to label it as a domestic terrorist organization?
I would do that 100%, and others also, by the way, but Antifa is terrible.
And he says again the Justice Department could bring racketeering charges against those groups' financial supporters.
Fox's Chris Foster. The president said that while announcing a new federal crackdown on crime in another city, like what he did in Washington, sending National Guard troops and federal agents to Memphis, Tennessee, supported by the Republican governor. He wants to go to Chicago next, but the Democratic Illinois governor doesn't want that.
Chicago's a great city, and we're going to make it great again very soon, and I think we can do that despite the tremendous size.
Well, the president also announced the military blew up a second boat in 2 weeks off the coast of Venezuela, suspected of transporting illegal drugs to the U.S. 3 people were killed. And later this hour, President Trump will leave the White House and head to London for a second state visit after one in his first term, and include meetings with King Charles and the British Prime Minister. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Police say he fired his weapon and kept explosives in his home. Nothing on radar. 60 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 85 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick, and here's what's trending at 8:02. Logan Quisenberry was arrested on September 11th after police searched his Broad Ripple home and found pipe bombs and drugs. Investigators say he's the same guy who opened fire on a car along I-465 late last month, apparently after the driver honked at him for cutting them off on a motorcycle. The car was carrying a couple of kids and 2 adults. Quisenberry is now facing several charges, including criminal recklessness and drug dealing. He's due in court in less than an hour. Of some of the biggest concerns from Indiana residents is where folks have been seeing data centers pop up and others have been eliminated.
You got to abate many of these out of the gate to where they don't even get the benefit of local property tax revenue. It's got to be more balanced than what's come out of the gate. Of course, we want any investment to come here.
Governor Braun spoke about the surge in data centers this morning with Tony Katz in the Morning News. The ACLU of Indiana says that it's suing Indiana State University. Jake McDaniel explains why.
It's all because Indiana State stopped funding student workers at the Pride Center of Terre Haute. The Pride Center is a nonprofit that serves the LGBTQ plus community, including health education and community events. It relies heavily on student workers whose salaries came from a mix of federal work-study programs and ISU's own Sycamore Community Work Program. ISU cut off this funding in August of 24, and the center says it just can't function without them.
Educators and public employees in Indiana are facing scrutiny over social media posts related to the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. One Department of Child Services worker is no longer with the agency after making a comment the department described as inappropriate. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita has asked Hoosiers to report posts that appear to support or excuse the killing. His office says it has received hundreds of submissions through a public portal. Indianapolis Colts head coach Shane Steichen says he needs to be better with late game situations.
Probably should have been more aggressive there. Got a lot of faith in Spence to make a kick, but don't want to put him in those situations from that deep. Learn from that. Obviously don't want to do that to our guys again. But obviously we had found a way to win there.
And Steichen talking about the late game win against the Denver Broncos, that last-second field goal that went through the uprights to give the Colts a 29-28 win. And the Colts are waking up in first place this morning. Playoff basketball is back in Indianapolis for the first time since 2016 as far as the Indiana Fever are concerned. They host a playoff game tonight against the Atlanta Dream at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It is win or go home after they lost the first game in Atlanta, 80-68. That tip-off tonight, 7:30. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:05. Traffic on the fives. Here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, looking at the south side, it's northbound 65 where the crash is cleared at Edgewood Avenue. Still slow right now, County Line Road to Southport Road. And then northbound 65, hitting the brakes after Keystone into the south split. That's a 6-minute delay because of road work. Northeast side, northbound 465 at East 75th. A stall blocking the left lane, no delay at the moment. Inbound 69 delay, 12 minutes, 116th Street, 282nd. Northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Moderna. Ready when you are. Next Spike COVID-19 vaccine, mRNA by Moderna, is available now. Just visit mnextspike.com. That's mnexspike.com. I'm Matt Baer on the fives at WIBC Traffic.
Ryan Morse, Wish TV meteorologist. What's happening?
Yeah, fantastic weather for today continues. We'll have sunny skies to start, but going into the afternoon, partly cloudy skies, high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, which is well above average for this time of year. For tonight, mostly clear, low temperatures in the lower 60s. Rinse and repeat type forecast continues Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, all in the mid to upper 80s. Saturday will have more cloud cover. If you're looking for more changes in the forecast, temperatures will be back closer to average going into early next week, and that's when we'll finally have some rain chances returning to our area.
That is Ryan Morse of Wish TV. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. 60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:07.
This hour powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Ductless Mini Splits dealer.
Possibility of a DC-style crackdown in Memphis. Well, the problem is, how do you do this in states where states have different rights than the District of Columbia? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Do you have the governor on your side? I'm signing a presidential memorandum to establish the Memphis Safe Task Force. That was President Trump in the Oval Office on Monday. It's important because of the crime that's going on, not only in Memphis, in many cities, that we're going to take care of all of them, a step by step, just like we did in D.C. Well, Memphis is rough. Memphis is absolutely rough and has been for years. The question before us is, where's the governor of Tennessee on this? Where are the people of Memphis on this? And certainly people of Memphis might just have to accept it if the governor is down with it. But what is it that we're really trying to do? We argued from the beginning. The desire here, I argue from what happened in D.C., is for red states to emulate this for their blue cities. That would mean Governor Bill Lee who's a Republican, looking at the Democrat mayor of Memphis, Paul Young, and saying, this is the way it's going. The mayor is not happy about the upcoming deployment. Isn't the correct response, we will take the help here and we take the help there. We don't need that, but we could use this and that would be great and let's get more of it done. Isn't that it? It's to be totally objectionable? It doesn't seem like a smart response or a valuable response. Then there's this response to Ilhan Omar, the congresswoman from Minnesota, or as she has put it, her job is to represent Somalia. Her words, not mine. She, in speaking about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, it was felt that she was engaged in a mocking of Charlie Kirk and laughing off the assassination. So this is Representative Nancy Mace in front of Ilhan Omar's office. I don't think she does curse there, Producer Carl, but finger on the dump button because it is Representative Nancy Mace. And when she speaks, you never know.
Here I am standing outside of the anti-American Ilhan Omar's office. Tomorrow we will file a privileged motion to censure her and to strip her of her committee assignments. She is inciting violence against conservatives in the wake of Charlie Kirk's political assassination. She is dehumanizing conservatives all across the country, calling Charlie Kirk a terrorist. We have been villainized and dehumanized far too long. The Democrats set the standard for stripping people of their committee assignments. I'm not going to be silent on this because enough is enough. I'm tired of your performative BS that is putting lives in danger. You can take your Sharia-loving, anti-American self back to Somalia.
Oh, dang. By the way, I have no issue with her losing her committee assignments. I have no issue with Rashida Tlaib losing her committee assignments. Bigotry should not be rewarded, and I'd like to see the Republicans play tougher on that. Take yourself back to Somalia. Well, if you wanted attention, Representative Mace, you just got it. Speaking of attention, Pam Bondi getting the wrong kind of attention. It's 2 strikes, and that's enough. And as for men in college, oh yeah, there's a reason they're not showing up. Let's talk about feminism. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, good morning. The kids are heading back to school, and let's be honest, you're finally getting the house to yourself again, which makes now the perfect time to take care of that roof, siding, or gutters you've been putting off. And Moss Roofing is here to help. Moss Roofing has been helping Central Indiana homeowners for 34 years. They're family-owned, locally rooted, and known for doing things right every shingle time. Free inspections, honest advice, and top-quality work on roofing, siding, gutters, and windows. They treat your home like it's their own, and they clean up like they were never there. That's why they've got great reviews and a loyal following of happy homeowners. So don't put it off any longer. Let Moss Roofing check your roof, your siding, and your gutters to make sure they're ready for the winter ahead. For your free inspection, call 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial, retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
Struggling with chronic joint pain? Don't want risky surgery or endless pills? QC Kinetics is your answer. Our non-invasive treatment stimulates your body's own biologics and has a fantastic success rate without lengthy recovery or harmful medications. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. Whether it's stem cell, PRP, or a number of other revolutionary therapies, QC Kinetics should be the last call you make. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Guys, it's game on at Synergen X and Low T Center, your TRT MVPs.
Book a free TRT consultation and automatically enter for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia, tickets, and more. Female patients, you can win too. Book at trtmvp.com.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what's happening?
Yeah, Tony, crash cleared northbound 65 north of Southport Road. That has cleared up, and traffic still a little bit slow from Southport Road up to 465 because it is a construction zone, and we will continue to have a slowdown there through rush hour. Northbound 65 slows after Keystone Avenue up to the South Split, delayed 7 minutes. Inbound 69 on a 7-minute delay, 116th Street, 282nd. Northbound 465, the stall cleared to 75th. We are slow from 70 up to Penn Pike. Northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic, 86th Street up to 865. Crash east side, east 30th, east of Emerson Avenue. That's at Hawthorne Lane. Crash southeast side, southeastern Avenue at Fisher Road. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Foundation Service. Is water damaging your home? Contact Indiana Foundation Service, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more, IndianaFoundationService.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
61 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:16.
Fostech is American-made firearms made right here in Indiana. American craftsmanship meets cutting-edge innovation. Their lightweight AR-15s are incredible, and they don't sacrifice dependability or durability. Advanced machining capabilities create incredible products, and they are all designed, machined, assembled, and tested right here in Indiana. Fostech, owned by a family that has served and loved their country. Find a dealer near you or visit Fostech.com. That's F-O-S-T-E-C-H, Fostech.com. Use promo code WIBC for 10% off your order.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
It was a really interesting story in the IBJ about men in college, or really the lack of men in college. And it's a worthy conversation. It's a conversation that I've had with quite a few people, understanding this pressing issue and why this is taking place. And this dovetails into the important arguments people like Mike Braun are making, but also exposes just how absolutely horrible feminism is. No. We're not talking about women and equality. No. We're talking about feminism and the vicious attacks on men that have taken place over the last decade, how wrong it is, and how anybody who talks about toxic masculinity is causing a serious social and cultural issue in America. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. But it's two strikes on Pam Bondi, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Tony, you can't talk about her. She's on our side. I don't know what bloody side she's on. I have absolutely no clue, because it started with this ridiculousness from the Attorney General regarding hate speech.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people, so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
Now, someone said maybe what she meant was engaging in violence or threats or intimidation. We would argue that threats and intimidation are different than, I don't like so-and-so, they're a giant poopy pants. I don't know, is that an insult these days? I don't know. Right? Threatening to do harm to somebody, encouraging harm done to somebody, saying I'm going to commit harm to somebody. That's different than I don't like somebody, or somebody's a jerk face, or somebody's this, that, or the other. We don't put people in jail for hate speech, if only because hate speech isn't real. It's not a thing. It's a lie. It's a fraud. It's nonsense. It's speech you might hate. That's a thing. Hate speech, not a thing. And it's not something you prosecute over. So that was strike one. Maybe she meant the other things, but man, it didn't come out that way. She would have to clarify. But I don't know if she can now, because on Fox News, that was on the Katie Miller podcast, and I wish Katie Miller had pushed back. On Fox News, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, says this.
That's horrific. It's free speech, but you shouldn't be employed anywhere if you're going to say that. And employers, you have an obligation to get rid of people. You need to look at people who are saying horrible things, and they shouldn't be working with you. Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet Dillon right now in our civil rights unit looking at that immediately, that Office Depot had done that. We're looking at that.
Allow me, just for a moment. The case against Masterpiece Cake Shop said you have to bake the cake. And, of course, that was wrong. And Masterpiece Cake Shop in Colorado has been abused by left-wing activists for years, and the state of Colorado. They're all disgusting, despicable people. You don't have to bake the cake for anybody. On this very program, I have argued against the concept of the public accommodation. You want to talk about what it means to live in a free society? A liberty society? I don't have to serve you at all. I just don't like the cut of your jib. Yes, we live in a country where you should be able to say, I don't serve so-and-so. You don't want to serve Jews? Don't serve Jews. You don't want to serve black people? Don't serve black people. You only want to serve Hispanics? Only serve Hispanics. It's your business. Why am I getting involved? It doesn't matter. You want to say we only serve liberals here? You can. You want to take baseball bats and threaten people? Hey, chatterbox, the answer is no. And of course you should have been in jail. And if we had a prosecutor in Indianapolis, or we had a mayor in Indianapolis who actually believed in Indy serves all, maybe that would have happened. But they don't believe it. It was always sloganeering. It was a lie and a fraud. And if you have that sticker on your business door, my gosh, you fell for something great, didn't you? They don't believe in Indy serves all. Mayor Joe Hogsett doesn't give a damn about Indy serves all. Stop kidding yourselves. You have the right to say no. I don't believe in the public accommodation. I believe the business can make the choice. I think they're dumb choices. I think people could talk about the choice. I think people could say, don't go there. They don't serve this person, that person, or the other person. But if we're actually going to say we believe we live in a liberty society, these businesses should be able to make these decisions for themselves. In the same way, I think they should be able to have smoking or non-smoking sections. Why is the state involved? Who the hell is the state of Indiana to get involved in the marketing of name the bar or name the other place? It's insane. It's radical of a concept. No, thank you. You must print out the sign Now, if we're talking turnabout is fair play, well then, sorry, lefties. This is what it was like when you told us we had to bake the cake. And for the record, Masterpiece Cake Shop was always willing to bake the cake. They just didn't want to decorate it. They didn't want to decorate the same-sex marriage case. And the political left vilified them and tried to destroy them. All of them disgusting and terrible. This was, I think, a really good start of the understanding of the violence that then made its way into the entire quote-unquote trans movement. You want to argue that with me, you go right ahead. But the data is on my side. It's on my side. You do not have to bake the cake. You do not have to print the signs. You don't. You're a private business, not a public company, where things and rules could very well be different based on SEC, based on FEC, based on a host of things, depending on what it is that you're doing. You don't have to bake the cake, and you don't have to print the sign. And is this the Attorney General making the argument that you should fire people?
That's horrific. It's free speech, but you shouldn't be employed anywhere if you're going to say that. And employers, you have an obligation to get rid of people. You need to look at people who are saying horrible things, and they shouldn't be working with you.
Well, that's personal. What if the employer doesn't think it's horrible? The employer can make that choice, and then we can choose what we do regarding that business. Interesting call to fire those people right there.
Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet Dillon right now in our civil rights unit looking.
If the left wants to argue they don't have to print anything, they have to admit they were wrong about the Masterpiece Cake Shop. That's the argument here. Because they were wrong. Admit that you were wrong. You were always wrong. Always. And you were violent about it. And you were abusive about it. And you were okay with slap suits, strategic lawsuit against public participation, trying to silence them and trying to silence others about it. You engaged in violence to keep this business from operating. You did. You did it. Admit it. Admit it. And admit that it doesn't work. Admit that's a bad thing for Americans to do. No, the Attorney General's wrong here. This is nutty. Nuts. She's wrong. That's 2 strikes. I'm out. But holy heck, for the left to get upset, you did this to conservatives. For years, you attacked and you vilified. You did this. I won't be surprised if some businesses try and push back on you in the same way. Print my flyer or I sue you. Not the America I want. But left, it's the America you created. I'll get into the men in college thing on Tony Katz today. It's a fascinating story. Matt Bear has traffic.
South side, northbound 65, delayed 7 minutes. Keystone Avenue into the south split. Inbound 69, a 5-minute delay, 116th Street, 282nd. East side, inbound 70 slows. Emerson into the north split. Northbound 465, slow after Brookville Road up to Penn Pike. And on the south side, northbound 65, slow after Southport Road to 465 because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. The biggest stories in Indy. Trump taking on crime in Memphis. And we're going to have some laughs today, too. 93 WIBC.
People think slavery ended long ago. But what if I told you it's worse than ever? Human trafficking is an epidemic, stealing lives in plain sight. Into the darkness, God raised up Project Rescue, bringing light, healing, and hope. Every year, Life Church partners with the Lucas family to host the Hope Starts Here breakfast for business partners with the gift of giving who want to make a difference. Join us Thursday, September 18th at Lucas Estates and see what happens when Hoosiers stand united against evil. Learn more at lifechurchin.com.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000 mile per year lease. 2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
Of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Jeff Chapman here. Your home has a lot of systems. We cover them all. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, drains, and now electrical. Remember the man for all seasons, and now more reasons. Chapman. ChapmanHeating.com.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
As our loved ones age, ensuring their safety at home becomes a top priority. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I'll be right back with some practical things you can do to reduce the possibility of a fall or injury.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Removing tripping hazards such as rugs and floor clutter is one way to prevent or minimize falls around the home. Another is to position grab bars in the restroom and other common areas where your loved one may need some extra support. Contact your local area agency on aging to inquire about low-cost or free installation services. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show.
September 19th through 21st at Grand Park.
Shop, compare, and save with over 200 trusted experts.
Tickets are $7 at suburbanindieshows.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An Academy Award winner has died. Nothing on radar, and it's 60 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 85 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. Academy Award-winning director and actor Robert Redford is dead. Early reports indicate that he died at his home early this morning in Utah at the age of 89. No word on a cause yet. Also in Utah, the man who police say murdered Turning Point USA co-founder Charlie Kirk is scheduled to be formally charged today in court.
In one of those instances, it was in a note he left for his romantic partner. In another, it was a text message to a separate individual. The alleged assassin was an avid gamer and very active on Discord, which is a popular messaging platform used by a lot of gamers. We've learned that shortly before the 22-year-old turned himself in, he confessed to assassinating Charlie Kirk in a group chat on Discord.
That's Fox's Garrett Tenney in Spanish Fork, Utah. On Monday, a federal appeals court declined to let President Trump immediately remove Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook from her position. The decision came from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, which denied the administration's emergency request to lift a lower court injunction that had reinstated Cook. The timing of the ruling is significant because the Federal Reserve's Open Market Committee begins a 2-day meeting today, and Cook is now expected to participate on a vote on monetary policy decisions. President Trump has ordered the deployment of National Guard troops and federal law enforcement agents in Memphis as part of a newly formed crime task force.
We're going to be charging these criminals on a federal basis. That was one of the most critical aspects of what President Trump announced yesterday, is that he's bringing every agency to bear. You went through all of the three-letter agency names. ATF will be there. HUD will be there. IRS even.
And that's Senator Bill Hagerty this morning on Fox Business addressing concerns about federal agents being in Memphis. Memphis leaders say crime is down, but residents say otherwise. The data center debate in Indiana is not going away. It may just be getting started.
The state is now up to 72 data centers, up 30% from the spring, and it's likely there will be more pop up in the coming months.
The fact of the matter is these data centers are happening, and they're going to happen. The question is what communities, what regions of the country are going to accept them and want them to be part of their community.
Gary Dick from Inside Indiana Business told WIBC's Tony Katz Monday morning that residents from multiple Indiana counties have voiced their concerns about plans for data centers in their areas and have even gotten some proposals completely shut down. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. It's been a minute, but playoff basketball is back in Indianapolis. Tonight is the Indiana Fever host the Atlanta Dream. It's a win-or-go-home scenario after the Fever dropped Game 1 on Sunday, 80-68 tip-off at 7:30. Number 9 Illinois travels to Bloomington on Saturday to play number 19 Indiana, and Hoosiers head coach Kirk says Illinois presents challenges in offense, defense, and special teams.
That's the one thing about Illinois is they know what it takes. You know, the success they had last year, return a good nucleus of guys, added some new ones. Ought to be a great matchup.
And Saturday's game kicks off at 7:30. Indiana is a 3.5-point favorite. And the Colts are waking up in first place, off to a 2-0 start for the first time since 2009. And they're getting ready for a divisional matchup on the road against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. Kickoff at 1 o'clock. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 8:35, traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan? Looking at the south side, northbound 65 slows after South Fort Road, 2465. It's construction. After that, northbound 65 starts to grind around Keystone Avenue up to the south split. Again, in construction zone, 7-minute delay. Inbound 70, pockets of slow. Emerson to the north split. East side, northbound 465, dragging Brookville Road up to Penn Pike. Inbound 69, slow from 106, 282nd, delayed 3 minutes. Crashes on the east side. This is 30th east of Emerson Avenue. That's at Hawthorne Lane. Crash southeast side, Southeastern Avenue at Fishers Road, and a crash Grandview Drive at 64th. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
We've got ourselves 61 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:36.
How bad is it?
Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight.
Want coffee? I think I need some coffee.
Time to fill up on the news. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. I'm sorry. Just pseudo-intellectualism is not attractive. Sometimes funny, but never attractive. Dow futures down 21. NASDAQ futures are up 38. Oil prices up a bit, $63.90 on the West Texas crude. The Brent crude, $67.93. The 10-year Treasury back up a little at 4.06. What is the deal with China that is going to take place? Scott Bessent, he is the Treasury Secretary, saying that there's a deal likely with China before the November deadline on reciprocal tariffs. Those take place in November, so we do have time. Secretary Bessent saying there'll be further talks that will take place before then. Now, again, I say to you that I have no idea whether or not we have seen success out of tariffs. I see increased costs. If you tell me that we've got trade deals, I haven't seen the result yet of those trade deals. I'd like to. I hold out hope. I want to, but I haven't seen it yet. I just haven't. I haven't seen where name the country is buying X number of dollars of our goods now since we created some kind of deal with them. Seems to be a lot more about talk than anything else. And the cheering about tariff money is a cheering about us charging ourselves for buying products. I don't think it's great. I don't. I have not seen anybody on the political left engage anything remotely looking like a economic plan, so I don't listen to the people just screaming Trump bad. It's boring. But if we're taking a look at what we have done, I think we should take a look at results. Have we gotten the results, or can we not question the results? I will question the results. Same thing is true about this TikTok deal. There's a deal with TikTok with China. What does that mean? TikTok stays in the United States. Is it owned by China or not? Is it owned by China or not? Is it controlled by the Communist Chinese Party or not? I just said the same thing, just with different words. Because if it is, then the answer is no. The answer is no. And no, I would not allow TikTok to operate in the United States. I wouldn't allow the communists or anybody associated with the communist regime to own land in the United States. No. And they can't own businesses in the United States. The answer is no. So what will happen with this TikTok deal? I think we're supposed to find out this by the end of this week. Was it Friday? I don't know. But anything that keeps it in commie hands. Oh, they are commies. Well, I can't. Sorry. Don't tell me that that's not being civil. I think it's very important to note when you're dealing with a commie. You should say so. You should be like, hey, look, that's a commie. No. Commies talk like that. That you should absolutely say so. You can't have anything that gives a communist an advantage. You cannot give them a foothold. You cannot allow them any step towards our America and the destruction of it. I'm not apologizing for that. I'm tripling down on that. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Zillow ranking Indianapolis number 2 among 2025's hottest real estate markets. Home values have risen, holding strong. It's a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. That person, that team is Mark Dietel. Maybe what you're looking for is a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but you don't want to have to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietel is the real estate expert trusted and recommended. The real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You just pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Dan and Casey in Indianapolis said it was time to downsize and we needed to sell our old house quickly at full value. Mark Dietel made it happen. We got our asking price in a few weeks without any repairs or an appraisal. Call the local Indianapolis agent who is trusted and recommended. The agent who guarantees your home sold or he will buy it. That is Mark Dietel. 317-755-4232. Tell them Tony Katz sent you or go online. Get all the information at markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Scrolling all day. Clickbait everywhere. But the facts, they're harder to find.
WIBC didn't just report the story. They explained why it matters.
I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level on the go.
I check the WIBC website every morning before I even open social media.
Online, on social, on air. Stay in the know while you're on the go.
You've got to stay in the know.
Stay informed. Now more than ever, we have information.
93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey, September is here, which means the kids are back at school again. Football is back, but did you know September is also Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and AAA Hoosier Motor Club would love it if you help support cancer research at Riley Hospital for Children, which serves more than 300 new pediatric cancer patients each year. Think about that number. I don't like that number, but we are thankful that Riley Hospital for Children is here to take care of your kids.
Get all the same member benefits like discounted zoo tickets, exclusive access to the AAA Tailgate Lounge at Ruoff Music Center, and the peace of mind that comes with their award-winning roadside assistance, all while supporting children with cancer at the same time. It's a win-win. To join or renew AAA, visit AAA.com, call 844-GO-AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
With 11 locations, Tech Credit Union's Chief Information Officer, Zach Hohulin, relies heavily on applied innovation and Arctic Wolf, an AI-driven cybersecurity platform.
We've been so impressed with that platform that Applied recommended that we now have gone back repeatedly to Applied.
Being a financial institution, Applied Innovation plays a critical role protecting your members.
It's almost a new Cold War, right? You have to have cybersecurity insurance, and you have to start partnering with organizations that will step in and help you manage that.
And having Applied Innovation as your cybersecurity partner?
It makes me a lot less anxious because I'm able to sit back and know that we're in good hands and not have to worry about it. I get to sleep at night.
Don't risk your data being hacked or exposed to ransomware threats. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com. And sleep better knowing your network's secure.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor and call a groundworks company. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with Indiana Foundation Service, a groundworks company.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Traffic on the 5s. Matthew Bear, what's happening?
All right, we have a crash. It's Ditch Road just to the south of 91st Street. It's a ditch in Emily Drive. Inbound 70, pockets of slow. Shadeland Avenue to the north split. It continues to be tight over the flyover on northbound 65 to Meridian. South side northbound 65, stop and go traffic. Keystone Avenue to the south split, delayed 8 minutes because of construction. East side northbound 465, slow from Brookville Road up to East 56th Street. Inbound 69, tight but moving, 3-minute delay, 106 282nd. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design, or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
61 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:46.
The most extraordinary thing a woman can do is let herself be human. We try to do it all, sure, but what if we're just not feeling it? Like when the fatigue hits, but you gotta bring snacks to the soccer game? Or when the laundry's piling up, but that hot flash says, too bad. We get it. Franciscan Health has care for extraordinary women who can do it all, but don't have to. Visit franciscanhealth.org/OBGYN today.
See a wreck on 465? Find a new pothole on your way to work? You can let Matt Bear know and help out your fellow travelers. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393 and join the text club.
I don't know what it is, but I want to dance. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to guess? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. What is going on, everybody? It's time to play America's favorite game. What the heck is that television theme song? Here is how we play our game. Producer Carl, who you can see on the live stream, over there on the YouTubes, youtube.com/WIBC. He has picked a television theme song from yesteryear. I have to guess what it is. It's very shag, baby. Yeah. The chat room is allowed to give me help. I do not know what it is, and they are all sorts of messed up there. This is not the theme to Hollywood Squares or Match Game. Some people said this is the theme.
It's one of the two that you just said.
Is it really?
Yes. It's a game show. Let's go to the center square.
This is Hollywood. Wait,
Yep.
Is this the original Hollywood Squares?
Yep.
The original?
That's a theme song from 69 to 78. It said on YouTube.
I'm trying to visual. I can't. Can't even see it. Yeah, some people saying Match Game. I knew it wasn't Match Game. I knew, but I wasn't sure it was Game Show. Well done. Well done. So I don't know. I knew it was Game Show. Do I get any credit for that at all?
Yeah, you hit it.
I didn't really hit it. The chat room hit it, but they are allowed to help me. See, Twitter X is not allowed to help. Chat room, if you're in the live chat, well then, yes, you are allowed to help over there on YouTube. Check it out for yourself. But you hit the buzzer really fast there, man. I could have gotten it wrong, but instead I get it. I get the yes. I get it done. You did that. Just saying. Just saying, man. It could have gone really bad. It is now out that Robert Redford has passed away at the age of 89, and I'm going through the career going back to Maverick in 1960. Perry Mason, he did. Alfred Hitchcock. And then just building out from there. Barefoot in the Park, The Chase, Butch Cassidy, The Sundance Kid, The Candidate, The Sting. Well, The Sting, good Lord. Great Gatsby. 3 Days of the Condor. All the President's Men. The Natural. A River Runs Through It. The Horse Whisperer. Goes on and on and on through the decades. Quite incredible. Quite incredible is that career of Robert Redford. 89. I hope to get there. I'm going to try and get there. There was a story that do I want to bring that? Do you want to bring that up? You know what? I'll hold that for Tony Katz today. This is also breaking that Fani Willis, we're talking about Georgia, the Fulton County District Attorney, who was prosecuting Trump and the RICO case and everything else. And then it turns out she was getting freaky-deaky with her prosecutor, Nathan Wade. And clearly there was money exchanging hands because she was keeping cash and he was paying for trips. He was getting paid more than everybody else. This was kickbacks. I mean, this was it. But then it became clear that she didn't know what she was doing and she was kicked off the case. And she's been suing to get back on the case to oversee the prosecution of President Trump and alleged election interference from 2020. The Georgia Supreme Court just said no thanks. The ruling from the Georgia Supreme Court, they declined to hear the case of Fani Willis. They will not hear the appeal. That ruling barred Willis from prosecuting the case. And now, well, that's going to really put the, if you will, the figurative nail in the coffin of her career. She did it to herself. She did all of this to herself. She is the one who politicized. She is the one who made all of these moves. We go back to when there were all those prosecutions against President Trump, and they all failed. They all failed. That's a lot of incompetence. A tremendous amount. The Attorney General has engaged a correction. She said in a podcast that we have to go after hate speech. Hate speech is not a thing. And just because it's speech you hate doesn't mean that it isn't protected. She has now posted, and I'm quoting here, hate speech that crosses the line into threats of violence is not protected by the First Amendment. It's a crime. Yes, if we're talking about threatening people, that is different. For far too long, we've watched the radical left normalize threats, call for assassinations, and cheer on political violence. That era is over. Under 18 U.S.C. 875C, it is a federal crime to transmit, quote, any communication containing any threat to kidnap any person or any threat to injure the person of another. And there is a different subset making it a felony to threaten public officials, members of Congress, or their families. You cannot call for someone's murder. You cannot swat a member of Congress. You cannot dox a conservative family and think it will be brushed off as free speech. These acts are punishable crimes, and every single threat we met with the full force of law. Okay, we agree. Free speech protects ideas, debate, even dissent, but will never protect violence. No one is arguing that. But you said hate speech, and that's why people rightfully pushed against you, Attorney General Bondi. And now we have the correction. More on this coming up on Tony Katz today at noon. Matt Bear has traffic.
Northwest side crash northbound 465 at 865.